Hi everyone, this is Abi Fauzan from Universitas Mercu Buana. I'm here with my classmates Fansuri and Sodri, and in this video we are gonna show you guys how to process ETL or extract, transform, load from our dataset. Because this process is quite necessary in data warehouse system, and also we are trying to perform basic OLAP operation and visualize it with simple chart. So without further ado, let's get started. So our today's discussion is talking about determining which hotel in America that has the highest average rating from their customers.
In our problem, we are taking the star schema because there is table user as the fact table, because in this case user table has attributes rating as measurement point, and around this table there are table review, customer, and hotel as dimension tables. First thing first, in data warehouse process, we are taking the dataset from kaggle.com, and you can browse this dataset from the URL that we provide. And here's the datasets. As you can see here, there are many attributes such as address, categories, countries, city, and so on. And from this dataset, we will perform an ETL process to, let's say, to throw away the attributes that we don't really use. It means that we are filtering these attributes by using RapidMiner software.
So let's start to our demonstration in the RapidMiner. First of all, before you are running process ETL in RapidMiner, you will read CSV first. If you want read CSV in the RapidMiner, you can search operator read CSV in the panel operators. Read CSV. And you can put into the workspace and you can double click on the operator. And you can choose file CSV, and then you can click next again, and then click finish. After you read CSV, we should rename attribute on RapidMiner. Why? Because attribute in the RapidMiner doesn't allow contents dot. So we should rename it, and I will show you how to rename attributes on the RapidMiner. You can click operator rename, and you can click edit list on the parameters, and will appear the dialog, and there are two attributes that are old name and the new name. After you are done rename in this dialog, you can click button apply. After rename attributes in the RapidMiner, you can change that from the invalid format that to valid format that. Why we change from invalid format that to valid format that? Because in the RapidMiner, if you put the invalid format that, the RapidMiner will give you the error that, and I will show you how to change from invalid format that to valid format that. Double click on the operator generate attributes, and in this dialog there are two attributes, attribute name and function expression. Attribute name, it means you want to change value which attribute is, and function express, it means you put logical from change value attribute. If you are done, you can click button apply. Click button apply, and the last operator is multiply. What is the multiply operator? Multiply operator, it means you can get many output from one input operators. So after we finish multiply on the ETL process, we move to subprocess table. This is the all of subprocess table. So what is the subprocess table in our demonstration? From previous star scheme, we define 5 tables, and all of these tables will be loaded from this subprocess. The first subprocess is table user. So the first is subprocess table user. In the subprocess table user, the first step is select attribute from the ETL process. You can select attribute with the select attribute on the panel parameter. You can select attribute, example, I select review text, review underscore text, review underscore title, and review underscore username. After I select attribute from the ETL process, I put generate ID. Why I put generate ID in the subprocess table user review? Because every row need unique ID. So generate ID is need in the RapidMiner. And the next step is select attribute. Why I put select attribute again in this process? Because the previous method generate ID, the ID is not selected automatically on the RapidMiner. So manually select attribute ID with the operator select attribute. After I select attribute, I will rename attribute ID because from the generate ID attributes, I want to make readable attribute in the RapidMiner. And the last is multiply operator. Why I put multiply operator in here? As I said before, multiply operator in the process ETL, multiply operator can get many output from the one input. So this is the end of the sub-process table user review. So all of the sub-process table, this is, and this is, are actually using the same method. So I will explain only once.
As we are done with basic ETL process in our dataset, we have got the tables that we have designed before in our star schema. Now I'm going to do basic OLAP operation such as drill down and roll up. So now I want to talk a little bit about what is OLAP operation. Well, OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing, and it allows user to analyze information from multiple database systems at the same time. So basically it is a technology that enables analytics to extract and view business data from different points of view. Maybe if you are an DBA or database administrator, you are kind of familiar with OLAP operation because we frequently need to group, aggregate, and join operation in our data, which this operation you can find in relational database resource. In this basic OLAP operation, there are 4 types of this, such as roll up and also drill down. So now I'm going to start with roll up operation. Roll up is also known as aggregation. In other words, roll up is decreasing the dimension of data. Well, in this case, we want to roll up the attribute city and wrap it to province attributes and display the average rating in each province. Here is the result. As you can see here, I'm limited the rows to 8 rows, and I'm wrapping each city from the province and also display the average review rating for each province here. So the next process is drill down. While roll up is wrapping or decreasing the dimension of data, drill down is the opposite of roll up operation. In drill down, data is fragmented into smaller parts. In other words, increasing the dimension into the detail one. So in this case, let's see the result first. I'm going to add the city attributes from each province and also limited the data to 10 rows because too much data in here, so I'm limited to 10 rows, and also display the average review rating for each province. And this is the example of drill down process.
So that's it for today. Leave the comment down below and give the thumbs up if you like it. And until next time, see ya.